Here's my review of Attack on Titan, Chapter 122, from you 2,000 years ago, which, just, Jesus Christ. We know now, back in freaking Chapter 1, to you from 2,000 years ago, from you from 2,000, oh my freaking god, wow, that was a long build up, but it was so freaking worth it. And we finally know the truth about Ymir, her backstory. I mean, people have been quite debating this. Oh, was she a devil? Was she a goddess? Did she sell her soul? Did she find the source of all life? What did she do? And now we finally know. And the truth is, she has the darkest, most depressing backstory of anyone in all of Attack on Titan, maybe any manga series ever. I mean, this girl. Oh, good lord. All right, you know what? Let's start very beginning with Historia talking to her big sister about what it means to be ladylike. Yeah, it turns out the book she was reading way back when about what it meant to be ladylike is the story of Ymir for some reason. I don't know why her big sister would be giving her this book, but okay. I mean, it really shines through with what she's saying, though. She's a kind girl who's always thinking of others. You should live as somebody everyone loves, and just Jesus Christ. I think it's the whole First Kings ideology kind of brainwashing here. The whole, you're a girl, so you should be subservient to others, and you should do anything. You should be a slave. You shouldn't talk back or do anything like that. You should be just someone who helps others, and it just makes the whole Ymir rebelling against her father thing so much better. Oh my god, so much better. I mean, Historia rebelling against her father, rebelling against being a slave, rebelling against, being for other people and sacrificing her life is exactly what Ymir kind of wishes she could have done, but didn't because she was a freaking slave. Anyway, we see Ymir's world. It is freaking depressing as all hell. People are being tortured in the streets, having their tongues cut out. It is just all horrifying. And meanwhile, there's a full-on wedding going on, like, right next to the slaves. Really showing the difference in class society. I mean, yes, you're a slave or you're a slave owner, and that's basically it. You're a slave owner, you're happy, you're a slave. You're a slave, you have no freedom. Nothing you can do. Then we see your slave master asking around like, hey, I know one of you set the pigs free, which maybe not, maybe they just escaped on their own. Which one of you did it? Tell me now or I'll just take out one eye from each of you. And with absolute zero hesitation, they all point a finger at Ymir. And quite frankly, I don't think she did it. I think she was just the easiest scapegoat they could find. Like, who here can we use? Oh, Ymir. She's got no family and she's weak. She doesn't do much work. I say we just say it was her. And seeing everyone point her, even like freaking children, Ymir just basically gives up and says, alright, it was me, why not? Not like I can argue against you people. So then she's set free, which is interesting terminology here. Because the next panel is her running through the woods, being chased by dogs and horses. So I'm guessing being set free essentially means you become free to hunt. Like, people can hunt you now. Very dark, depressing society we got. And then Ymir sees it. The tree. This giant-ass tree, which definitely something supernatural going on with this. Which definitely something strange going on with this tree. But she finds a huge crevice in it and walks in like, oh, maybe I can hide in here. And immediately falls down some weird underground spring it has. And begins to drown, because I'm assuming they don't teach swimming to slaves. And maybe they were collecting clams or something, but, yeah, probably not. So Ymir essentially starts drowning instantly. And honestly, it probably would have been better if she died right here now, just saying. For everyone. But instead, something comes out of the water and attaches itself to her spine, and I think this is all the answers we're going to get about what this thing is. I almost feel like if they went into details like, oh, this is XYZ, it would kind of take something away from the mysterious nature of it being the unknown, this force, this being that's existed always, or something like that, Because we don't know, it has more power to it than if we knew its whole freaking backstory. But just for fun, my interpretation of this is that, like Alice, I think Alice said a while back, Ymir touched the source of all life. This was the first life form. Either it just mutated or came in through a meteorite or shot through from an alternate dimension or whatever, and from it, all other life evolved. Like, all things that contain a central nervous system came from this. They evolved from its cells, from its first contact with this world. And therefore, it is the source of all life. Anyway, then Ymir transforms into the first Titan ever, and she's pretty freaking terrifying. Her face is basically a skeleton. I guess that's the jaw Titan. And I don't know what's going on with her ribs. They, like, protrude outwards. Maybe it's like the power of the Warhammer Titan showing, but it's certainly different. I don't remember any Titan having something like that before. And so you think, alright, Ymir, you got the power of freaking God. You can do whatever you want. You're going to take out the slave masters, take over the world, and become your own person. Nope, not at all. Literally, next page. Ymir, my slave. Just Jesus freaking... Why, Ymir? Why? Why are you still a freaking slave? You are a god. You could literally wipe out entire nations, the world. No one can stop you. They do not have the technology to do it. So why the frick are you a slave? And even as I say that, I know the answer. It's because Ymir was a slave. Being a slave was the only life she ever knew, so therefore, how can she be anything but a slave? But this line right here afterwards is really interesting. You opened the way, cultivated the land, and built bridges across mountains. Our tribe, LD, has grown considerably larger. I mean, this is literally both stories being true. She was a conqueror devil who killed thousands, millions, and yet she also built infrastructures, roads, bridges, blah, blah, blah. So both the Eldians and the Marleyans' tale of her was true. I mean, she wasn't a devil or a god, but she still, did those things that both sides said they did. And yet at the same time, she did none of those because it wasn't her choice. She didn't choose to do them, but rather did them because her slave master ordered her to. And then her slave master impregnated her. And I gotta say, though, just given this one shot alone, I really understand why the Marleyans thought of her as a devil. She is freaking terrifying. Honestly, even if she was fighting on my side, I'd be terrified to stand under her, but these guys are trying to fight against that giant, that demon, that monster with a skeleton face. It's just horrifying. Absolutely freaking horrifying. Anyway, then life moves on. Ymir has her first child and looks very perplexed when she's looking at the kid. Like, she's not really sure how to feel, or maybe she already knows what's going to happen. Like, you're going to eat me one of these days, aren't you? Or maybe she just doesn't really know how to feel, or how to feel happiness, or if she even cares about her children. I mean, does she? She's a slave. She doesn't really have emotions. And we move to the final scene of her life. It seems like the Marleyans are coming to surrender, but then one of them pulls a spear he had hidden in the sand, which, smart move there, and throws it at the king, which, makes sense. Ymir is, like I said, literally a god, so you have to have a pretty precise aim to kill her. But Ymir, being the slave she is, rushes forward to save her slave master and gets impaled for it. And this is either like the best shot in the world, or Ymir did this on purpose. Like, alright, let me die here, please, for the love of God. Sever my spinal cord, that's going to kill me for sure. And you just gotta love the king's reaction here. What are you doing? Get up. You did not die. I mean, he literally tells her, you're not dead because I won't allow it. I mean, he literally calls her on her deathbed a slave. And says, you're not dead because I won't allow. I mean, just Jesus freaking Christ, this man. And that should have been the end. That should have been the end of Ymir. That should have been where this story comes to its conclusion. But it's not, because this is a freaked up series, and it's Ymir's children eat her. Yes, the king orders his daughters to eat their freaking mother because he is an ass. I mean, you just gotta love the people in the background, absolutely horrified by all this. Yeah, apparently it took them a while to realize, oh, you just have to eat the spinal cord, not all of her flesh and organs. Yeah. Oh, this is the most depressing scene I've ever seen in my entire life. Also, fun fact, the $3 are named after $3 Ymir. I think that was confirmed a while back, but just now it's 100%, so yeah. And then we see the tree of life, the tree of this world, sprouting its 3 branches, which is literally her family tree. When the 3 inherited her power, the eventually spread from Ymir to her 3 children, and then from them to their children, so on and so forth, until, expanded to the entire royal family, the giant freaking tree we've seen the last couple chapters. Send her 3 kids, go have kids of their own. There seems to be 8 of them, which is interesting because I'm not sure when the, founder Titan got separated from the others. Like, I'm assuming one of these 8 is also the founder Titan, but story for another day. Anyway, yeah, we see all 8 of them. The Colossal Titan, the Beast Titan, the Warhammer Titan, the Armor Titan, the Female Titan, the Attack Titan, the Jaw Titan, and the Pack Titan. And just gotta say, the Pack Titan looks even more like a horse than it does right now. That amused me. Anyway, yeah, the royal bloodline extended outwards again and again and again, as Ymir is forced to build each and every Titan, forced to be a slave for all of eternity. I mean, seriously, just look at these things. There are hundreds of these Titans, and Ymir had to slowly, methodically build them all. I mean, she's not, a god here. She doesn't have super strength or flight or anything. She needs to literally build a ramp to start to keep pouring the sand. God, Jesus Christ, this is depressing. And Eren sees all this. He's seen her story. And he just starts screaming, "That's it! I'm going to put an end to this world, so lend me your strength." I mean, okay. Ymir, you're not a slave. You're not a god either. You're just a human being, which I have to disagree with, because I'm still saying she's a god. I mean, this just completely freaks out Zeke. Wait, what? You're going to destroy the world? Why? I thought you were just gonna... What is your plan here, Eren? I mean, Grisha kind of warned them, like, Eren's plan is ghastly, it's horrific, it's disturbing. And yet, I think Zeke didn't quite realize the full grasp of what Eren... or just how horrific it really is. And Eren essentially offers her freedom. He says, whether you want to... It's your choice. Choose whether you want to stay here forever or end it. And Zeke just does the absolute worst thing possible. He yells at her, "Do as I told you! Do it immediately! I'm ordering you here!" Which, I am a descendant of the royal family, which, no, Zeke, that is not what she wants to hear right now. I'm not sure if you missed her whole backstory, but the royal family is literally the family of the guy that made her a slave. Literally the family that enslaved her for eons, for millennia, for eternity here. I honestly think she might actually hate the entire royal family at this point. Even though they're her children, they're also, children of the Fritz family, the family that she absolutely despises. The family that enslaved her. Even though they're her own children, her own descendants, I think she truly does hate them for all that she's been put through for this eternity here. Eren, though, he says something very interesting. "It is you who led me all the way here. You've been waiting all this time, since 2,000 years ago, for someone." And this pose Eren's in right here, it's loving, it's caring, it's something else. I mean, it's not, Eren ordering her, it's not Eren trying to stop her, it's Eren embracing her and telling her it's going to be okay, it's all right. I mean, going, back to the beginning of this chapter, from you 2,000 years ago, this was the message Ymir sent to Eren way back in the first chapter. Eren didn't remember all of it, but it made him cry, seeing what she's been going through, seeing her life and how she was made a slave. And I mean, you might even be able to argue that Eren is the way he is against people taking away freedoms because he saw this backstory, but I think it's the other way around. I think when Ymir saw Eren so willing to fight for others' freedom, so willing to wrap his scarf around the scared little girl, she realized this is the man who will set me free. And she started this whole path to get him here so that he could come here and free her. And then we're back to the real world. Eren's severed head managed to regrow a new Titan body, and the walls come crumbling down. Holly freaking Luya! Like, I know thousands or maybe millions about to die here, but I've said before, I say it again, these walls had to come down. That just it. They had to, but before the series ended, they had to come down. Eren had to be set free. And I mean, this shot of the walls crumbling is just so freaking beautiful. In the final panel, it can't be stopped anymore. The walls have come crumbling down. All the colossal titans who have been hidden within them are free. And I think there's a good chance Eren's going to use them just to obliterate most of humanity right here and now. Really, though, what he said, to end it, to destroy the world. Yeah, two ways I can interpret that. Either Eren is literally planning on wiping out the entire planet, ending humanity, and just starting fresh with someone new. Or he meant he's going to end the Titan bloodline. The Titans as a whole, the world that Ymir has been trapped in, making more and more Titans. Now, not entirely sure he's going to do that, but my best guess is he's going to take the Titan shifter powers from the remaining Titans and make it so that no other Titans can ever be made again. He will be the last Titan. Probably even an immortal Titan. Guarding his people for all of eternity, making sure that war never breaks out again. Oh, but yeah, this chapter was, something else. I'm glad I reread the last one, because Eren's line, though. When someone wants to take away my freedom, I want to take away theirs. I mean, freedom, slavery, what it means to, really have choice in your life and have freedom. It's been such a main theme throughout this entire series. It makes so much sense that Ymir was a slave. I mean, they straight up said it like 2 chapters ago, like, she is a slave. I'm like, oh, so she's been made a slave by her children, her descendants, who used the power of the Titans against her. Nope, not at all. She's been a slave her entire life. Even when she became a freaking god, which Eren says she isn't, but yes, she's definitely a god. She was still a slave because she didn't know any better. She didn't know any other life than being a freaking slave. And now Eren has set her free, and I mean, I really have to wonder, did Ymir put him on this path to setting her free? I mean, did Ymir see all throughout time and space and see this boy who fought so desperately to protect others' freedoms and who, wrapped the girl in the scarf and said, I want that. I want him to do that for me. I want him to kill everyone who's been holding me back and just hold me and tell me it's going to be okay. Tell me I'm no longer... just tell me I'm free. And then, she gave him memories. She showed him the truth, and this further inspired him to follow this path. You could argue, that Ymir is the one that made him a slave. He's been a slave to Ymir, but I think it's the other way around. I think he chose to walk down this path for Ymir so that he can protect her. He can save her. But yeah, what happens next is going to be grim. 100% going to be grim. I mean, he literally has an army of thousands of giant titans right now who are completely loyal to him. And I think that, the whole royal bloodline's been reset so that Eren is the only royal there is. I'm not sure if Zeke's even alive right now, but I'm guessing he doesn't have the power he once had. Maybe Eren can even, take back that power without killing him. Like, he can just touch him and say, now I can possess the Beast Titan, then go to Armin, now I possess the Colossal Titan. Go to Annie, now I possess the female Titan. And just, get all the Titans back from them. But yeah, so, literally no idea what happens next. Like I said, Eren might just, obliterate all of humanity, or he might just end the Titans, or he might just, use them as a bluff, like, hey, Marley, if you make another move, I will send these guys out, and I will obliterate your entire freaking kingdom, your country. I will turn it to dust. So, go back home right now. I mean, this chapter is absolutely amazing. Just some of my favorite panels in all of manga were in this chapter alone. But yeah. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Just, what do you think? What's Eren going to do? Did Ymir lead him to this path? How much freedom did Eren really have? Or was this his choice all along? Be sure to like, subscribe. Till next time.
Peace.